Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of robertoblake.com helping you create something awesome today. So today we've got a controversial question that I'm going to try to answer, and I know a lot of you are not going to like my answer, but that's okay because this is going to be practical, actionable advice. And the question that I get so often on this channel and so often in comments and emails is, do graphic designers actually make money, and can you make a living at this? So many of you are discouraged, or people are trying to talk to you about becoming a graphic designer because they don't think there's any money in it. And the reason is so many graphic designers think of and portray themselves and have the narrative of being artists instead of being marketers. The most successful graphic designers, honestly, think like and execute and market themselves and promote themselves in the context of marketing and advertising, whereas the most creative and the best and most acclaimed designers, if you care about that thing and if you care about the vanity, style themselves as artists. And that's the reasoning. So if you want a lot of likes and you want to get a lot of comments and Behance or deviant art and everything like that, then you'll tout yourself as an artist and you'll preface yourself that way. You can be an artist in your heart, but in your execution, you need to be positioning yourself as a marketer, and here's the reason why. When so many of you are being discouraged by your parents or relatives or anybody else to not become designers, what I need you to do is you need to ask them to take a look around whatever room you're in, and then you need them to show you one thing that was purchased in that room that a graphic designer didn't work on. And that is the secret, my friends. That is the secret. The reality is that the cover of this book, even though it happens to be a design book, a designer had to design the cover, someone had to lay out the interior pages, somebody had to do the digital print production. There were a lot of designers that were paid to produce this. Every single item on my desk had a logo design for it, had packaging design for it, had advertising and marketing, whether that was print or digital or billboards associated with it, and that's the key. The way graphic designers make their money is by facilitating the sales of products and services. And that's all products and services. Everything you probably own had graphic design work that someone was paid to do associated with it. And so that's the sales pitch to anyone who's trying to talk to you about going to design school or pursuing this profession. If you don't think you can make money at this, the problem is that maybe you're not looking in the right places for that money and that value. Maybe you're looking at your local market and who can hire you there instead of looking at the global marketplace. Or maybe you're looking at the wrong small businesses or the wrong startups and you're not reaching high enough for people that can afford to pay for what your skill level is and what you actually can provide and what you might need to live off of. When you do that, you'll be successful. But as long as you're positioning yourself and talking about it from an artistic perspective instead of associating the value of what you can create with how it generates the sales of a book or a product or a service or whatever it is, that's where the problem and the glass ceiling is going to come into place. So, can you make money as a graphic designer? You absolutely can. Can you make a living as a graphic designer? You absolutely can. You can't do it when you're charging the bare minimum, and you can't do it when you're doing it for $5 a pop. You can't do it when you're doing it for the same non-skilled labor wages that someone doing, bagging groceries is, not to slight those people, but you should not, as a creative professional that has artistic, creative skills, design skills with technology and strategic branding and knowing how to actually use these computer applications, why are you charging what unskilled laborers are charging? Why are you changing the same amount of money, and why are you thinking of yourself as having the same amount of financial value to your salary as somebody who's unloading things from a moving truck or somebody who is mowing a lawn? Or we're doing it to ourselves. So when designers aren't getting paid what they need to, it's not because people are just being cheapskates in the marketplace. It's because designers are not storytelling in the right way about their profession and what the value of it is. And then also there are too many people who out of desperation are reaching for low-hanging fruit and tanking the marketplace. So those things are a real problem and a real issue. And the way we address it is by not using websites like Fiverr, educating people instead of attacking them when they do decide to use that. Because if someone's only got $10 in their pocket and they need to try and start something that's going to change their life, then sure, there should be an answer and a solution for them other than learning it themselves. Cool. I would argue that there are still better solutions than that out there, but whatever. The bottom line is, don't go for that client then. Position yourself to where you don't need that person to be your client. And that's the real answer. And you do that by developing your portfolio of work. You do that by charging the appropriate prices. You do that by being able to communicate intelligently to non-designers about what you do, and by taking more shots. You miss all the shots you don't take. So taking shots that you feel safe or comfortable to take, instead of risking rejection and hearing no by reaching for the top, that's part of the problem too. It's a confidence issue in the marketplace, and it's something that creatives struggle with. I'll probably do some videos specifically about that in the near future. But I made this video to encourage you and make you understand that if you're positioning yourself right, if you are doing all the right things, if you are putting together a great portfolio, a great website, and if you're charging enough money, then when you do get a yes for charging the right amount of money, it only takes a few yeses to matter. Versus if you charge half of that, you have to work twice as hard to get twice as many people to say yes. So just think about those things. And again, if you have questions, leave them in the comment section and we'll try and talk about it. Anyway, I hope you guys found this video helpful, informative. I hope it motivated you to rethink how you're approaching your design career. Anyway, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome content on the channel. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching. And don't forget, create something awesome today.